Hello and welcome to an introduction to Spectrum by Viewpoint, our construction software solution. We're going to spend the next couple of minutes giving you a high-level overview of what Spectrum can do for you and your business. But let's talk about you for just a moment and what you might be using today. So if you're like most companies, you're probably using multiple applications or software programs to help manage your back office, aka accounting, your project management team, and people in the field. Some of these applications you may be using, maybe Microsoft Excel, maybe you're using Word, or some accounting program that isn't quite giving you the insight you need to manage your job or business on a day-to-day basis and giving you the insight to your job costing if you're making a profit or not. We just wanted to let you know that you're not alone, and this is why you're looking at the short introduction to Spectrum and how you can take everything you're doing today and have it in one solution moving forward. So what is Spectrum? Let's talk about that for a moment. Spectrum is your one solution from your project management side to your accounting side. And this means that one area will flow into another, and you're going to be able to grab information from one side to the other. And what does that mean for you? That means no more double entry work for you. So no more taking from a spreadsheet, entering those budgets into your other program, or creating project documents in Word and tracking them in Excel, or doing your change orders outside of the system. Now you're going to be able to do all that within Spectrum itself. And for your field guys, Spectrum even has a mobile application that you can use out in the field to bring in your time against the job and also your equipment time against the job or cost, and bring that in as well. So let's just go take a look at Spectrum and to let you know what you're looking at here. And this is your login screen. You're going to log in just like I'm doing today, and you can log in from anywhere. This is a full SaaS program. Doesn't matter if it's Firefox, Safari, Chrome, Explorer, whatever the case may be. You just log into the system. When you log into the system, you're going to be presented with a dashboard. This is your dashboard. You're going to be able to customize it and do what you will with it. But that really pertains upon what your role is with the company. Security is always number one. So depending upon your role is what you'll have access to and how you can build your home screen, your dashboard. And you can move these applications around if you want to. You can make them different colors. You can make them big. You can make them small, whatever the case may be. You can delete them. You can even go into and say how often do you want that information to update, which is really nice. So not only can you move these around and delete them and add them, but up in here, up in the settings, this is where you're going to grab that information. This is where you're going to select your apps, as we call them here in Spectrum. Like, you can move them around, as I said, and add, or you can do searches or just by categories. Once you're done creating your dashboard, you come in here and you're going to be able to see that information, and everyone gets a dashboard. So it's really nice right from the get-go. I can see a lot of information without having to go deep into the system. I can even collapse them like I have here on the right-hand side. I can uncollapse it. I can see my cash balances. Maybe there's time cards I need to review. Maybe there's overdue approval on submittal. So I can do all this right within Spectrum. But it also allows you to get in the system faster. So if you see right here, I'm looking at my customer AR balances. And if I were to select one of these, where that's going to take me is right to my customer information site. So right from this page, I can see my customer's address, their phone number. I can see all their open items. If I'm doing any kind of collection calls, I can come in here and put notes on there. And what's nice about these notes is that I can also include these. A lot of times, you know, our owners or our managers want to see who we called and what was the information we were getting back. That's great. We can have that in here, and you can actually have that added on to your aging AR reports as well. So right from that dashboard, you see I can drill down and get to my customer site, but that's from really area right from the dashboard. Maybe it's a Friday afternoon and your PM wants to leave for today and going on vacation, but wants to approve all those outstanding vendor invoices. Spectrum has document management, so you're going to be able to scan your invoices in or drop them and drag them into your AP process, and right from here you can see your queue. When I click into my unapproved invoices, I see my queue, what's been routed to me, but you can also set up dollar amounts if it needs to be routed to another individual, and also set up tiers as well. Since we are doing the document scanning and project management, I can come in here if I need to review this particular invoice. I can open up on my right hand side, I can pop it out and put it onto another monitor, and I can see this right from here, and I can approve it, I can reject it, or add notes to it as well. So there's a lot you're going to be able to do right from this screen. But if you look over to your right, we also give you a favorite section. That is just what the name entails. It's your favorites, your favorite reports, or your favorite modules that you want to go to. My background's in accounting, so I like to have multiple favorites and subcategories. You can do that as well. You don't need to, but that's how I like to see my information, because I'm in a lot of areas of Spectrum all the time, so I can create sub favorites. Of course, you can always go in through the traditional menu. That's fine. Software is built on modules, but when we were building Spectrum, we kind of took it from the aspect of, look, every job touches modules, touches a lot of these modules right in here within your traditional menu, AP, AR, even payroll and job cost and equipment. So our goal was, how can we take this menu and really streamline it for you? So what we did, I'm coming back here on my dashboard. On my left-hand side, I see my jobs, and these are jobs that I'm responsible for. But when I click in there, it's going to take me to my job analysis screen. I can get a quick 10,000 foot overview on how I'm doing on the job. I can see my job status and my cash flow and a high level of my budgets, where I am on change orders, when do we bill last. But more importantly is on the right here on the left hand side, this is our info bar. This is going to anticipate where you want to go next. I was just talking about our sitemap, which is your traditional modules. So let's say we wanted to look at your subcontracts. What are subcontracts? Well, their cost, and we try to make this as intuitive as possible. So if I want to come down here and see my subcontracts, pay attention to what happens down in this space below. I select my subcontracts. I can see all the subcontracts I have on that job, but it also is anticipating I might want to go into another couple of areas. So right here, I'm going to select a vendor and a subcontract I want to see, and now it takes me right to my vendor site. I can see all of my vendor information, my document tracking, all my compliance issues. I can see my subcontract. If I'm tracking sub-tier vendors as well, I can track all that right here. I'm going to close out of here and take it back to the dashboard. So they are pretty much the ways to get around in Spectrum. You have your dashboard, you have your favorites, but you're also going to have your info bar to the left. Not only can you do that, but we have other areas in Spectrum that help you move forward in the system. So we talked about document management, your submittals, your transmittals, your RFIs, all those can be managed and created right within Spectrum. These type of reports, I'm going to be able to create and view all of my information right from here as well. You're going to have all of your reporting. Your change orders are now done in the system. So you're going to be able to create your change order request, your owner change orders, have that flow to your schedule values. Billing, your time and material billing, your progress billing, your AIA type billing. You're going to be able to produce all that within Spectrum as well. But I'm going to come back in here and just give you an idea, since we're running a little short on time, is that you're going to be able to create your payroll right within Spectrum. We have human resources, so maybe you want to see where you are in regards to any OSHA forms. We can create those right out of the system. You can manage your inventory, your payroll, your equipment module. If you have a fleet of equipment, you need to track maintenance and job costing and location, you can do all that right here within Spectrum. But we also have a couple other areas. We have a service area, so if you need to do service, we have a dispatch board, schedule board. You're going to be able to manage that and notify the technician out in the field with our service tech. They're going to be able to see the job they need to go to, get there, clock in, clock out, take pictures, take notes, and all that's going to flow back into Spectrum, so you can build that out as well. Anything else right within Spectrum, you're going to be able to create. We talked about payroll. We talked about equipment. So you're going to be able to manage that in there as well. In the beginning, I also had talked about mobile applications. So we have a mobile application that ties in with Spectrum, and that's called Payroll Time Entry. So right from this screen, I can select my jobs. I can see where the job is located, put my time, labor time in there, either individually or if you have a crew. You have a superintendent or maybe a foreman that needs to manage the crew. He can select his crew and put some defaults in there, put time against equipment, add-ons like per diems or reimbursable expenses out in the field, and unit quantities as well. And then you can see those period summary information, have your employees sign off on those time cards, and that ultimately comes back into Spectrum and will flow into payroll and update your equipment cost and payroll cost as well. So there's a lot you're going to be able to manage within Spectrum. We had talked about your project management, your accounting side, your AP, your AR, your payroll. All that information is going to be able to be housed right within Spectrum. I want to thank you for your time and taking this quick look today at our Spectrum software solution. And just your takeaway here is that your back office, your project management team, your personnel out in the field are all now going to be able to communicate and move forward. So we look forward to hearing from you and look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you so much for your time today and have a wonderful evening.